In a humble village, at the edge of a dense forest, lived a kind-hearted girl named Elizabeth. Though her family had little, they had each other and a small, cozy cottage. Every day, Elizabeth would wake before dawn, don her worn-out shoes, and set out to work in the village fields. Her goal was simple: to earn enough to buy a small loaf of bread. Elizabeth's days were long and arduous. She worked as a field hand, helping the farmers with planting and harvesting. Her tiny hands, though calloused, were skilled and hard-working. Despite her exhaustion, she always managed to smile and greet her fellow villagers with warmth. After a long day's work, Elizabeth would walk to the village bakery. With the small coins she had earned, she would purchase a loaf of bread, still warm from the oven. Each evening, she carried the precious bread home, her heart swelling with pride at the thought of sharing it with her family. When Elizabeth arrived at her cottage, her mother, father, and younger brother would eagerly gather around the simple wooden table. They had little else, but the bread was a treasured delight. Elizabeth's mother would slice the bread carefully, and they would enjoy it with the few scraps of cheese or vegetables they had. One particularly harsh winter, the village faced a shortage of food. The fields were barren, and the bakery was almost empty. Elizabeth worked harder than ever, but the pay was meager. Her family's needs were growing, and it seemed impossible to keep up. One chilly evening, after a particularly grueling day, Elizabeth was heartbroken to find that the bakery had no bread left. Her stomach churned with worry as she trudged home empty-handed. When she walked through the door, her family greeted her with concerned eyes. "I'm so sorry," Elizabeth said, her voice trembling. "There's no bread tonight." Her father took her hand and gave it a reassuring squeeze. "It's all right, Elizabeth. We have each other, and that's more than enough." Elizabeth's mother wrapped her in a warm embrace. "We're proud of you, my dear. You've given us so much more than bread. You've given us hope and love." As they sat together, the cold winter wind howling outside, Elizabeth's younger brother tugged at her sleeve. "I have something for you," he said, his small hands holding out a tiny piece of bread that he had saved from his own portion. Elizabeth's eyes filled with tears as she took the bread and shared it with her family. Though it was small, the gesture warmed their hearts more than any loaf ever could. They sat together, sharing stories and laughter, feeling the warmth of their love and unity. The next morning, something miraculous happened. The villagers, moved by Elizabeth's kindness and dedication, came together to support her family. They brought baskets of food, including loaves of bread, fresh vegetables, and other essentials. The village's generosity ensured that Elizabeth's family would never go hungry again. From then on, Elizabeth and her family were never in want. And although they continued to work hard, they were never alone in their struggles. Elizabeth's selflessness and the kindness of her fellow villagers had transformed their lives, proving that even the smallest acts of compassion could create miracles. And so, in the heart of the village, Elizabeth's story became a symbol of hope and generosity, reminding everyone that love and sharing could overcome even the toughest challenges.